was another incident that happened during the Christmas of '95 that was very sad. It's almost as if someone evil has been watching down over the town and causing all this sadness. The townspeople had gotten together and got the Earleys, who are the town poor people, gifts. And they all got together and bought them all these gifts so they would have something for Christmas. And they put them in front of the library. And actually they left them there, and officers had volunteered to guard the gifts. This was late Tuesday night. Christmas Eve. While the police officer fell asleep, someone in the town had come and stole all the gifts. After awoke, all the gifts were gone. It's their search on homeless people that used to live under the railroad tracks. But they found nothing. No gifts were under there. The police were getting frustrated. They had a gift-sniffing dog that they used, but came up with nothing. Above the railroad underpass, one of the town's homeless people had taken the gifts and put them in his little shack. Had a tip about a stranger in town who was seen near the library where the gifts were stolen. So the police got a search warrant and they went to his apartment and bust in, and they found an empty room with just a mattress laying on the floor with no sheets on it and no pillowcase on the pillow. There was nothing in the room except probably about 3,000 photos of naked women tacked to the walls all over. The police figured even if this isn't our man, he probably should be in prison anyway. So they took him out of his apartment and they dragged him off to jail. Had him in jail under tight security. But one night, all the townsfolk heard that the suspect was in jail, and they all got together and they stormed the jailhouse to take out the man who stole all the gifts. People stormed the jail. It was mayhem. It was quite a scene. Nearby, the girls continued to skate on the ice, almost like nothing was happening. People stood by and watched. They couldn't believe what they saw. Out of jail, they lowered him down to the ground. Followed after, lowering themselves down one by one, sometimes in a group. People were heading out. It's obvious by now that they were going to lynch the suspect. They wanted blood, and they were going to get blood. Little kids were throwing snowballs at him. The man was screaming, "I'm innocent," but they didn't care. They were going to get him. We're heading for the car. It's not apparent now what they had in mind, but it can't be good. At least for the suspect. At this point, he was scared out of his mind. Whatever that poor man's fate lied in, it looked like something they were going to do with the car. They were rigging up something, but I don't know just yet what they were going to do. The villagers were up to something. At this point, I'm not sure I want to know what's going on, or what they have planned for this poor individual. Unfortunately, I think we now know what was in store for this individual. He was going to be crushed under the tire. Oh man. These town people were angry, and they wanted revenge, and they were going to get it. This was going to be ugly. They were actually going to do it. They had gotten the keys in the ignition, started the car, and now about 14 of them were putting it into reverse with the man under the wheel. This was incredible. Oh, it's in gear. I cannot believe this. I cannot believe what they're about to do. Oh no. It's happening. Oh, that poor man. Oh. That poor man. Oh, Lord. Oh, these people. Have they no heart? The man was not convicted in a criminal court. They took this upon themselves. Oh, my Lord. That night after what they had done, the town felt guilty. They realized that what they had done might have been wrong to do. Few people were out that night. Most of them stayed indoors, pondering what they had done. It was not a good Christmas. Who was lynched and killed, however, unjustly, came back as an angel. And he flew above the village, and he said, I feel no malice towards you folks. I understand why you did it, and you no longer have to feel guilty. All the gifts, the bad person all of a sudden had the urge to return them. So she picked up all the gifts and she returned them to the library. So the gifts were returned to the homeless people, and the kids would have gifts that Christmas.